Welcome back, everybody, for yet another One Piece chapter reaction. I have been looking forward to this one. I haven't heard much about this chapter, but I mean, we're in the midst of God Valley. I assume God Valley is continuing. God Valley Peace, I guess. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but the Loki flashback is what it really is. But you know, obviously, it's extended further. So I'm looking forward to this. So welcome to the stream, everybody. I gotta say, I did take a look at this color page right whenever I was setting up the stream, so I saw it like a minute ago. This might be one of my favorite color pages of all time, and I'll get into that here in a second. But first, we have a couple donation messages, and also looks like my Chrome already froze. My whole computer froze, so give me a second here. I don't know. Hopefully, it's still working for you guys. I don't know. But my As always, my browser does not want to work. Oh, it's okay now. Now Firefox is working, so you know it is what it is. I guess Chrome was the one that didn't want to work today, so we're over here on Firefox, but that's all right. Welcome to the stream. I gotta reorganize a little bit real quick. I just saw someone gift some memberships. Thank you. I'll figure out who that is once I organize myself here. Bean Boy with the 5 gifted memberships. Also, Biori Gigi with the 5 gifted memberships. The goats of the channel right there. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. The stream has barely even started, so seriously, thank you. I also wanted to say, I'm sure you guys noticed I dropped 2 videos last week, and I hope that is the first marker of this channel having more videos out, because I have so many scripts halfway done. I have several thumbnails that I've already paid for and I'm pumped to put out there. But I also wasn't feeling very good this week. I feel much better today, so we did hit a little snag this week, but I'm still hoping to get a video out this weekend. I've been working on one about Sanji and the Conquerors hockey situation, so I'm hoping that'll be out this weekend, but we'll see. I am excited that I was able to get two videos out last week. I really challenged myself to get that debut video out quick. It was only like 20 minutes and wasn't like the craziest video ever, but I was like, let's just get another video out so I can get in the groove of more and more videos, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Also, Juvial Grace, I saw you join the Afro Gang earlier. Welcome. Feels like you've been a part of it all along, and it doesn't say how many months you have. I'm not good with the colors, so you probably have. But either way, thank you very much, Juvial. Appreciate you. Quanidin, member for 16 months. 8.5 out of 10, I'd say. Okay, I know usually lately it's been a lot higher, and I usually agree with your rating. So I'm excited to figure out why it's not as high as some of the other, but 8.5 is still pretty good. And as we say on this channel, the rating scale changes like every week because the chapters are just so hype. So and you also said I like the cover page. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. We're gonna get to that here in just a second. Biori, thanks again for the 5 memberships. Bean Boy, thank you again for the 5 memberships. Also, Bean Boy, I believe you said in the Discord that you were going to get Sonic Cross Worlds. I definitely am going to be getting that, maybe even tonight. So we got to play. I don't know if anybody else is into that. Cliff is into it. I don't know if you can hear him downstairs. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get him up here because the door got cracked open, and so then he scurried downstairs to go probably bark at a school bus. So just give me 1 second. All right, he's here now. Bean Boy, you said stream it, please. I will. It'll probably just be on Twitch, although I know I got to play some Paper Mario. I know I've been getting a lot of requests for that recently, so hopefully both of those will happen, but can only do one probably this weekend, so we'll see. But I'd probably Crossworlds because it's newer, but maybe I can do both, a little bit of both. Cliff, come here, buddy. Cliff came upstairs, sat next to me for a second, and then walked over to the other window to bark out from that one instead of downstairs. Let's see. There was one other chat I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah, Vex, you said Discord ping. That wasn't the one I was going to mention, but that's a good call. I should probably send that in the Discord, shouldn't I? Let's see. Live for Chapter 1151 right now at everyone. Thank you for the reminder, Vex. I know some roles, I don't know if it's the main mod role or what, but I know some roles have ability to do at everyone. Maybe I need to start designating people. Oh, I put 1151. I'll do, yeah, that was like 2 months ago. Let me do 1161. All right, fix it. But yeah, thank you very much, Vex. There was one other one I wanted to mention. I can't. Oh, Kuya, you said soon 100K. Yes, guys. I think it was last night we hit 97K, which is amazing. So, big thank you to you guys for that. We're nearing in on 100K. It'll probably take about 2 more months, at least at the rate we're going now. It might be a little quicker. And we're gonna have a lot of celebrations when that happens. We're gonna have a lot of giveaways, probably a lot of big streams and stuff with some other, creators and stuff. So a lot to look forward to. But now it's time for the chapter. It's time to get into it. I believe I've read all the donations. And I skipped past the title, so I don't know what the title is, but we got to talk about this color page. This might be my favorite color page of all time, and that's really saying something. I think my current favorite. There's a lot of really good ones. I really like the chess one. Okay, Cliff, come here. Come on. Whenever there's school buses, Cliff is like extra motivated. Come here. Come on. Come here. The door is far away from the desk, so I have to use a back scratcher to close the door. Thankfully he's in here now. No more barking. No more interruptions. But this is probably my favorite color page. My current favorite, I think, is the DJ one, maybe, from Wano, where Sanji's like a DJ and everyone, the whole Straw Hat Crew's in the club and all that. But this one, man, like, half the characters are dolls. We see Chopper is in the crane machine, which is amazing. We see Frankie counting the coins. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Gaimon, we got a Gaimon plush, I'm assuming is what that's supposed to be, in Luffy's mouth, which is interesting. My guy Gaimon finally getting some love again. And I like that, like, they're fighting over the Chopper toy while the real Chopper is still stuck in the crane machine. I see a Brogy plush there. I assume it's a plush. They also kind of remind me a little bit of, like, Sugar's toys, kind of, so I don't know if that's maybe it. Also, I just noticed Frankie's in the foreground here counting coins, but then he's also in the background there, so it's like Oda made sure. And then we also got Usopp's face here, like, we're seeing two angles of it. Like, we're seeing him from the back, and then in the top left, it's him from the front focusing on the game, which I think is pretty cool. Also, everyone's kind of on here twice, or most of them, which I think is cool. Jinbei's sleeping in the bottom left with a Dory toy, but then he's also asleep in the top right, so that's kind of cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool color page. This is one of my favorites of all time, for sure. It's like, so much going on. So many characters are making cameos. Like, I think that's Hiyori back there, that Sanji... Wait, is Sanji holding all girls? Yeah, oh my god, it's Lilith, it's Hiyori, is that Robin? I think, or maybe Viola, I can't tell. He's holding all girls. That is very on brand for Sanji. Is that a Whoop Slap toy? Hey, I see Mihawk down there. This one's just great. Oh, of course Zoro has the Mihawk toy. This one's great. Oh yeah, and Pudding's there too. Tiny Angry Gnome, I saw you just said that. Yeah, no, I love this, man. This one's great. Wait, and I keep noticing more little Easter eggs. Is that Clover in the claw machine? Is that a Gorosei? Is that Saturn or somebody in there? I think I see Kureha, I think I see Zeph. And also Brook is the crane. I also just noticed that. Like, yeah, this is probably my favorite of all time. What we hold in our hearts is ours forever. Interesting. All right, now we're into the actual chapter, now that we have fully analyzed that one. A love ballad in the hail of arrows. In a hail of arrows. Okay. That's interesting. We got another installment of the Yamato cover page, the resting place of our heroes. So I assume this is the thing that we saw last chapter. I'm actually going to bounce over real quick because I can't remember exactly what they called that. The hall enshrining Odin and his comrades. Okay, so that's what we're seeing here. And I also like that they're lanterns because, at least I assume that's what they're supposed to be here. Because remember at the end of Wano how, like, they sent those up? I think that's maybe what it's kind of playing off of. I think that's them. I don't know. But I assume Odin's in the middle here, but then there's 12, 14 different ones. Do the kanji on each one tell us who the people are? Because, like, with 14, and just assuming Odin's in the middle, he's the big one. I mean, because, like, not all the scabbards are dead, so I assume some of them, but then who else? You know what I mean? So, Dexter, you said they do? All right, once we get done with the chapter, maybe let me know which ones they are, because I'm curious on who all the names are. So let me know. Birch, Dex, my beloved. Yeah, I love when Dex is here to answer my questions live, you know? Yeah, let me, I don't know if you have it on hand, but you can send me a DM or something and I'll look at it later. But that's very cool. All right. Now we're into the actual chapter itself here. We're into the God Valley business. The island became an inescapable flashpoint. God Valley, what happens when legends meet? I thought it was going to say God Valley, what happens in God Valley stays in God Valley for some reason. But where motive and fate erupted into a battlefield of nightmares. I wonder if that is a little foreshadowing for if somebody has Killingham's fruit or something. Head for the evacuation route. But there was a prize I really wanted. Oh, so the Marine is telling them, the Celestial Dragons, to get out of there. Gotcha. We will take responsibility and get it for you. Responsibility? You'll be taking responsibility for all this, you idiot. Again, I hate these guys so much. I feel like it's also... Like, it's interesting. He's like, we'll get it for you. It's like, this is a prize for the tournament. I don't know if they're going to let you even grab it. Like, even though you're escaping, I don't even know if the other Celestial Dragons will let you take it. You know what I mean? We might have a chance. Let's use this chaos to hop on a boat and slip away. Where's Shaky? Is she all right? Eris, Teach, where are you? So Eris, so that's Blackbeard's mom, right? Eris? Okay. Where did Roger go? I love how they each have, like, totally different prerogatives at this point. Hang in there just a bit longer. Where are the Navy ships? All right, so here's Dragon running away with Shanks and Shamrock. More pirates. It's not this way. Yeah, I see him. A Marine with a little bundle in his arms. All right, so here is... Oh my god! This lady just shot out a laser beam out of her mouth? Dude, this is some Boro breath type nonsense. What is happening? So this God's Knight from last chapter is now hunting Dragon, and Dragon just got lasered straight through the shoulder. Is this Killingham's mom? I gotta figure it out. Got him. You're a lifesaver, Maffy. Garling would have killed me. Maffy. So we see one of the babies fall. Is that Shamrock? Is that how they get Shamrock? And then, I don't know, we'll see. Wait, when? Okay, I thought it was her saying wah, like, for some reason. It's the baby saying when. The baby's crying. Who would have thought a prick like Garling could have a kid? That's almost as strange as our intriguing little kidnapper. God's Knight Satchel's family? Saint Maffy? Maffy. Satchel Maffy? So that's probably not Killingham's parent. I mean, technically, because he's Remo Shifu, and technically that could be his dad, and, you know, this is his mom, then he would have taken his dad's name. So I guess it's not actually out of the realm of possibility. But Satchel, that's a new one. Satchel's family, Saint Maffy. It's also interesting she's saying... her design is just so badass, by the way. I know we talked about this last week, but now we're getting an even better look at it. This is one of the coolest designs Oda's had in a long time. Like, I'm such a huge fan. The multicolored hair... Wait, her hair is also like a mountain. I don't know if we noticed that last week, or I don't know if it's just the way it's designed, but you see that? Her hair looks like Mount Fuji almost. Very strange. Why does she have Mount Fuji? I mean, I don't know if that's actually what it's supposed to be. The first thing I'm thinking is, like, if that really is Mount Fuji, and that implies some Wano connection, is there a Black Maria connection? Because Black Maria is from Wano, and I've never really understood what's going on with her. But either way, this is crazy. Wait, those babies. They're my only chance to atone for helping set up this twisted murder game. And so I love Dragon's little introspection there, because, like, Obviously, none of this is like his fault directly, right? He's like a pretty like a low level recruit at this point. He obviously got here and immediately recognized how bad it was, but he's still taking some responsibility for being a part of the Marines who allowed this to happen, right? And so I think that's some cool introspection from him, like how seriously he takes his duty to kind of help people. It was nice knowing you, young man. Wow. I guess that's that. Considering all the dead, this is probably what I deserve. See, I love that introspection. Dragon's a real one, man. He feels so terrible about this, even though he's not the one really doing it. Okay, out of the way. Now we see all these trees. It has to be Scopper, right? Cutting all these trees down, and we already know Scopper hurt the gods, like, or hurt Summers. It has to be him, right? We'll see. Look like maybe Whitebeard. Yeah, Whitebeard. I see Dragon in the corner, so it's Whitebeard. I was hoping this would be Scopper because they're trees. You know what I mean? I was really hoping for Scopper to come and cut down some more trees, but it's Whitebeard, which is all right. I got no problem with Whitebeard. For the last time, I was aiming at the enemy, not you. How many other pirate crews landed here anyway? Liar, I could have died. You want to go right now or something? This is kind of cool to get a little, like, info on the connection between Whitebeard and Big Mom, like, because that's not really something I feel like we've ever really gotten very much. So I like this, just them kind of, you know, being together for this little whatever mission they're on here. I mean, this is probably when Big Mom runs and gets Kaido's fruit, right? So it's kind of cool that they're on a mission together, I guess. We got Dragon down here. Whoa, these pirates, they're so huge. And it's funny that he's looking at these two and he's saying that because, like, not every pirate is this big, but, like, people have always wondered, like, is Big Mom or our Big Mom or Whitebeard or these other, like, not giant races, but giant human races, if you know what I mean? Like, they're much bigger than a regular human, but not necessarily giant size. Like, do they have some special lineage factor? Which, like, we saw Big Mom's parents, but is there, like, some recessive genes or something? I don't know, but it is interesting that he's saying that to those two. Damn you, Newgate. You trying to get me killed? Shaky. This isn't what we agreed on, Linlin. Kaido. The Rocks Pirates. If we can take them down, we'll be famous. Huh? Hang on. Are these scrubs after Shaky too? And then they just murked all these guys. Wow. This is a badass panel, by the way. This panel with Whitebeard, Shaky, Big Mom, and Kaido all teaming up in one giant panel. That's insane. You also see some fire off to the side, which I assume is Prometheus. Get back to bed, you small fries. This is such a cool panel, man. That like genuinely, that's like a thumbnail kind of thing. What in the world is happening on this island? On there with he got hurt. Is that Shanks? Now this is a big catch. I found a prime fishing spot. Oh, and dude, wait, so they're even running from Garp? You see all these Rocks pirates are running from Garp. That's a Garp upscale right there. That's kind of crazy. A prime fishing spot. What a cool way to put it. Brace yourselves, you big ol' sea kings. It's Garp, run. A fight with him will drag on too long. We ain't gonna fight back at all? Can it? Zeus, Prometheus. Yes, mama. So, real quick, that's crazy for Garp. I mean, we all knew Garp was a boss, but, like, to see all these guys running away from him, that's pretty crazy. Oh, I see some people saying loading, refresh. Okay, cool. Hopefully it's working all right. Mine. Oh yeah, it's working for me. I just checked real quick. Hopefully it's working for you guys. I'm not exactly sure. Oh my god. Vice Admiral Garp. So you can see like some squigglies in the midst of this white flash, which I assume is Garp blocking some of it. What was that? No, focus. This is our chance, Kuma. Okay. This isn't even hot enough to cook a prime rib, Linlin. This panel with Garp is Absolutely insane. I am genuinely like shocked at how cool this panel with Garp is. That is a thumbnail if I've ever seen one. I shouldn't even be looking at the chat, but I have to. I know this panel. All of you guys had to be hyped at this, and I'm also worried the stream's lagging. But I feel like I'd get more messages if it was that bad. Can't wait to see that animated. Ringo said. I completely agree. I completely agree. And keep it real. You said that Garp line honestly made me laugh. Yeah, dude. This isn't even hot enough to cook a prime rib. This chapter is just a Garp upscale. That's what this chapter is meant to do, is hype up Garp. It's like Oda's like, all right, we spent a lot of time hyping up Rocks. I spent the whole story hyping up Roger, pretty much. Like chapter 1, obviously from the get-go, it's like, hey, Roger's a badass. He's like, don't forget about Garp. Don't you dare forget about Garp. Then we got Big Mom over here dropping the F-bomb, which is like, I don't see that often in One Piece. Like, I feel like it's been translated that way a few times. I wonder what the kanji is, like how direct of a, like, I don't know if they have the same exact word in Japanese, but it's got to be a pretty strong word there. I feel like she's definitely worried that her combo attack did not even phase Garp. Bro, that's so crazy. Hey, the kidnapper's probably dead, and I've secured the baby. That's good enough, right? The baby. So is he going to say there's two? I'm forever in your debt. Now, please get back here before Garling finds out. Okay, so this person doesn't know that Garling had twins. That's an interesting point, because remember, Garling did walk in and say, like, oh, twins, that's interesting. So he didn't, so he probably hasn't relayed that information back to whoever they're talking to. I'm sorry, I may not be able to help your brother, but I swear to at least save you. So this is definitely going to be Shanks. There's Shamrock. You all really thought you could get away in the chaos? Pirate or townsfolk, none of you will escape on my watch. And then we got her just blasting pretty much. I forget what her name is. I know she's from the Manmeyer family. Did we get her name last chapter? I don't remember. But yeah, I saw Feline. I saw you put that in the chat. Who is she talking to? I don't know. Is Garling's not the supreme commander of the Gods Knights at this point, right? Because whoever the supreme commander is would be my guess. But I think he said that he was the captain, but not the supreme commander, which is like what. Like, Shamrock is the captain now. Well, he might be the supreme commander now that Garling got promoted, but I think it's maybe that. So Garling might have been the captain back then, so maybe there's another leader. I'm not sure. Reporting in. The Rocks pirates are coming from the southeast. I love these diagrams. The Roger pirates from the northwest. We've been sandwiched. Interesting. Okay. The layout is kind of cool. So they're in the middle of the mountain also. Okay. Give back Shaky. It's Roger. Fight to the last. We haven't gotten the treasure to safety yet. The Rock's crew are coming from the other side. I'm gonna save her first. No, I will. Let go. Shaky, we're here to save you. All right, so everyone's fighting over... Wait a second. Captain John has a metal arm? Did we know that? Did we know that he had a metal arm? Or was I just out of the loop? That's what it looks like, right? No, we didn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. What? New kid theories on it? Yeah, definitely. What the hell? He's Kid's daddy. I mean, if he lived long enough, that's the key with a lot of these guys, like, because Kid's only 23, and we know Captain John was on Thriller Bark, so he died, I think, probably during God Valley, but who knows? And we also know he got stabbed by his crew or something like that, right? So he might have survived longer. I don't know. Well, whoa! That's crazy! Kids Devil Fruit, that yeah, him having Kids Devil Fruit seems pretty likely. Also, remember, he's the one who mentioned Gale Ra to Rox. So Rox already probably knew about them, but he's the Rox member who brought up, like, oh, aren't we looking for Gale Ra? And that's like that's something I brought up in my Kid video, because Kid is an engineer type, right? Like, we saw that when he was a kid, and he has the perfect fruit for it. Gale Ra is going to be a Gali Law member, like another group of engineer-type people. So there's a lot of stuff I said in that video about those connections. But now that we see this, I don't know, maybe there's a Captain John angle to it, too. I don't know. That's crazy. That is shocking. Was that Gil Baster in the back? Is that him? He's been in the background all the time. I'm waiting for an intro panel for that guy. Oh, McBain, I saw you just. I just looked over. I saw you ask the same thing. I think that's Gil Baster. I'm waiting for him to get introduced, like, for real. But hey, at least he made it onto a panel. That's crazy though. The metal arm. Wow. Hurry and stop them. You at least moved Shakuyaku, right? St. Summers. About that, huh? St. Summers. Oh, she cooked all the Marines? Don't tell me all of them were taken out by one little chained up lady. Sounds like the pirates out there are really going to town. How distasteful. There's nothing less cute than a woman who knows her worth. Summers, no. This man needs to get cooked. I've said it, you know, all the Gods Knights need to get cooked, but this man, nah. I mean, what Shamrock did was even worse, but this, I mean, the disrespect, man. And then we see Shaky turn around and just kick him, but she grabs her foot. Ouch. And then he's about to hit her with his spiked club thing. Eek. And he does. No. So, oh man. Oh, we got to cook him. Summers cannot make it out of Elbaf. Summers cannot make it out of Elbaf alive. If there's one God's Knight who needs to meet his fate, it is this man right here. Oh, man. This is, like, you went and kidnapped this woman, and now you're angry that she was able to fight off all these Marines because she's actually strong, and then you slap her, and then hit her with your... No. Like I said, this man can't make it out of Elbaf. I don't care. No. Summers and Carrot are made for one another. That's tough, man. That's tough. Both Robin villains. I mean, Luffy pimp smacked Vivi, but I feel like that one's a totally different situation because the argument was that they were, like, she didn't want them to join the fight, right? She was like, no, like, I don't want anyone to die. That's a whole other can of worms, but this one is obviously much more disrespectful, right? Not saying that Luffy's is okay, although they did end up fighting and she hit Luffy back and everything, so, like, whatever. But this one is obviously just pure evil, right? This is obviously not, it's not just not okay. It is horrible. It is horrible. Man. You know, all these pirates are here to take you away. Your popularity is quite the pain. It certainly made a mess of our tourney. Even if you survive this, Garling will ultimately claim you as his. No one else really gains anything. So I'm starting to wonder if it wouldn't just be more fun to kill you here and now. Summers? This man cannot die a painful enough death. Like this, he can't make it out of Elbaf. Bogard hypers in the chat. I do see some people talking about Bogard. I haven't. Where's he at? Has he even been in the background yet? Let me finish the chapter, then I'll go do a quick Bogard check. But still waiting for him to do something, man. Bogard. This is his last chance. This is literally Bogard's final chance to make a stand in the story. If he does not do anything during God Valley, no more Bogard theories. It's just at that point Oda's made it clear he has no role, you know. Dexter said, I'm hoping Dex wraps it up before I gotta hop. Yeah, you retracted it, but I did see it before that. But I will hurry up so I can read, because I have some DMs from you, or at least I assume they're from you. They've come all this way just to save you. It'd be unfortunate for them to survive hell only to find the mangled corpse of their beloved here. I wonder what kind of faces they'll make. And like you see all these pirates walking in pretty much to go save Shaky. Yo, like I said, Summers can't make it out of Elbaf alive, I'm telling you. Shaky, we've come to save you. Shaky, are you okay? I'm gonna save you now. It'll be me. No, I'm the one. Damn, my hands are tied right now. I'll leave Shaky to you. Is this gonna be Rayleigh? Is Rayleigh busting in to go save Shaky? Can you hear that? They're right outside. But I'm afraid they're just a little too late. St. Summers, Garling won't forgive this kind of transgression. Zip it. If you keep quiet, they'll just chalk it up to an accident. Look at her face. All hope snuffed out. See, this ain't a fairy tale. I just got any hero who'd show up. Life's a bitch, ain't it? Gee ha ha ha. I'll kill you in 5 slashes. Savor the pain. Your wishful thinking will drain out with your blood. See that? I mean, look, Summers does have, I don't even want to give him a compliment, but he does have a little bit of, like, poeticness in the way he speaks, but it just makes me want him to get cooked even more, you know? Like, the stuff he's poetic about is horrible stuff. Remember when he was like, what did he say to the kids? It was like, I can't remember, but he was talking about how, like, they're going to go try to hug their kids and they'll get stabbed up and they can't save their kids. I forget. It was poetic, but it was terrible. He's kind of doing the same thing here, but... I'll send you to the darkest shadows of the underworld. Oh, that panel with Rayleigh is badass. Transcendent Hegon Crescent. Furigana reads Red Spider Lily. Interesting. Isn't Blackbeard's flower the red spider lily? Anyways. Bogya. Okay. Shaky. Sorry for the delay. Come and make me yours. I'm here for you. Oh, that's actually pretty damn sweet. That I'm a big fan of how Oda just did that. And it feels like what Oda's kind of getting the Rayleigh and Shaky stuff out of the way, or like just the Shaky stuff really out of the way, because we're about to get the rest of the hype. You know what I mean? The Davy stuff. Ray-san, you're late. I'm sorry for letting it come to this. I was so scared. I'll never, ever... Save it for later, you dog. Oh, and they're crying. So you got Roger and Scopper out here. Guys, we've got Shaky. Grab the treasure and run for it. A passionate rescue. Chapter 1161. And that was a good chapter, guys. I feel like that took me longer to get through than most chapters. That was a really good chapter. Like, and it's cool that we're in God Valley in, like I was kind of just saying, this one was mainly Shaky focused, right? Like, it's like Oda's getting the Shaky stuff out of the way. And I feel like now it's really opened the door so the rest of this can be, big time fights with Rocks and whoever, Devil Fruit stuff, like all the other really hype stuff that we've been looking forward to God Valley. It feels like Oda has now opened the door to where we can just focus on that instead of the Shaky thing. Like, I mean, maybe there's going to be a little more Shaky stuff to cover at some point. Like maybe the Celestial Dragons, like Garling, will come after them, and maybe there'll be a little bit more, but it feels like that's what Oda's doing, is he's setting this all up, so now we can get into the rest of the hype, right? We don't have to worry about Shaky the whole time. Man, fire chapter. I really, really enjoyed this one. Dexter, okay, so I just noticed in the translator notes at the end, it goes over who some of the names were, but some of them you can't exactly tell. Some of them you said if some were speculation because we couldn't fully make them out in context to known characters. Okay, I get what you're saying. So maybe they're new people. We expect Kuro something as Kurozumi, but you don't know who yet. So I'm going to go down here and look at these because this is very interesting. So 1 is Kozuki Toki, makes sense. 2, Kozuki Odin, makes sense. 3, Shimotsuki Yasuye, however you say that, makes sense. Uzuki Tempura? Uzuki Tempura. Do we know? Oh, okay, him. Okay, I remember him now. Uzuki Tempura, I remember him. So these guys must all be those three. Yeah, Fugetsu, Omusubi. Yep. Okay, so those three that were hanging out with Yamato whenever Yamato was locked up. Taka? Do we know who Taka is? Oh, the Hyogoro's wife. Oh, okay. I didn't even know we had a name for her. So Hyogoro's wife is number 7. Izo's number 8. Number 9's Pedro. You know, I still am a little unsure why Pedro is getting this much focus from the Wano people, given I don't even know if he ever made it to Wano, but you know, Oda's doing it. Ashura Doji's 11, so Kuro, so 10 you can't exactly tell. The only people I can think are like Tama's parents, one of Tama's parents maybe. but I gotta be honest, I don't know why Pedro's on there. I don't know. I know Pedro's grave was put in Wano and Zoro visited it, which I guess is the reason why. But like Pedro didn't even die in Wano. I don't know if Pedro ever set foot in Wano. I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Like that is weird, right? Like, I mean, it's like nice, like they're paying homage, like because the Minks are friends with the Kozuki, you know. So I get that connection, but like Pedro, man, he's got nothing to do with them, like specifically him. Like he is a Mink, but like Pedro himself has nothing to do with this. So I don't know why Pedro is here. I mean, I don't know. Did Pedro ever mention Wano? I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. I don't think Pedro set foot in Wano. I don't think he had anything to do with Wano's strife. I don't even know if 99% of Wano even knows who Pedro is. So I don't know. In my mind, it would make way more sense to have a grave in Zou for Pedro. Have like a shrine for Pedro. Have a shrine for all the Minks that have died in the last, I don't know, 20 plus years for all this stuff they're trying to figure out, like whether they're helping the Straw Hats or hell, even give one to Zeppo. Zeppo died going to Big Mom's territory and stuff, right? Like a lot of them have died for noble causes recently. You can give them all the big shrine. I don't know why Pedro has to be in Wano, but Oda obviously wants to do this. You know, he obviously really wants this Pedro thing to matter. So I don't even know. Like Carrot went back to Zou and could have made a grave, but it is what it is. You know, no skin off my back. If Oda wants Pedro to be heralded by the people of Wano, then I can't stop him. I don't know. Everyone forgot about Peckham's. Yeah, well, is Peckham's even dead? He has the Will of P. Like Pedro's the only Will of P member who did die, but even then, I mean, we still haven't seen Pedro's body, if there even is one. But you know, whenever people have the Will of P, I definitely am a little worried. But yeah, this was a really good chapter, guys. This was really good, and like I said, for being in God Valley, but not necessarily covering the most hype stuff of God Valley, I really, really enjoyed this chapter. Like, because we're gonna have 10 out of 10s. No problem once we get to the actual rocks fighting. If Emu pulls up, the devil fruit reveal, like all that's going to be crazy. But the fact he was able to get a really, really good chapter out of God Valley without touching any of that stuff is pretty cool. Now, the Garp stuff was cool too. That is a little bit of combat hype stuff, but mainly the Shaky stuff was really the focus. So overall, I really, really enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and get into the super chats now. Let's see what you guys are cooking up here. I am a little bit behind. I saw John Sherrod followed on Twitch 5 days ago, but it's here in Streamlabs. Thank you, JJ. We passed your level in Paper Mario already, where there's all the pigs, but maybe there'll be another one. I don't know. Everyone just started turning to pigs one level. That's why I texted you, because I know you're a Topman guy. I still don't know why they were doing. Like, I know who did it in the game, but I don't know why they chose pigs. But either way, I appreciate you. Alexander Fiorello with the $5 super chat. Hey Dak, with the theory that rocks could be in Blackbeard's body, if that's an ability that is used by others, could it transfer COQ hockey? Is that what that says? Like Law's body swap? Did you mean Conqueror's Hockey, maybe? Is that what you meant? I'm assuming you meant Conqueror's Hockey. See, that's interesting. Like, could that happen? I could definitely see a world where high enough levels, because I think this is already happening, where once you get to the high levels of hockey, like the top tiers, I'm thinking that I think it's already evidence that you can kind of mimic devil fruit powers once you have a high enough level of hockey. And that might even be kind of where devil fruit powers came from. So is it possible? I think it potentially could be. I wouldn't rule it out. As for the theory working that way, one of my like little kind of personal problems with it, it's not necessarily a issue with the theory itself, but more so just the narrative. If Rox is in Blackbeard somehow, I hope it's not that Rox is like in the driver's seat. I hope it's that Rox is like lightly influencing Blackbeard, or maybe like, you know, people bring up like a Mother Carmel Big Mom parallel, like a Mother Carmel's alive, maybe influencing Big Mom a little bit. Maybe Rox is doing something like that. Or is it a situation where Rox is going to come back in the future and take over Blackbeard? Like, the thing I don't want is for Rox to kind of be in the driver's seat the whole time, which if it was like Law's body swap, then he would be. Because then it kind of takes away from Blackbeard, right? Like, I think Oda's going to do this in a way where it builds up both Blackbeard and Rox's characters. And if it's a situation where Rox is in the driver's seat of Blackbeard's body, then I think it takes away from Teach as a character. Then it's like, oh, so Luffy's not fighting Blackbeard, he's fighting Rox D. Zebek. So that's like my pause a little bit there. But as far as like, is it possible? I could definitely see Conquerors being able to do something like that, because I think the more and more we see Conquerors applications, you know, extend further and further as we get deeper in the story, I think we're going to see more examples of Devil Fruit abilities essentially being copied, or, you know, maybe not a 1-to-1, but close enough. So it's possible. It's possible. JR Rider 203 with the $2. Sanji left Zeph in the machine. Hold on, let me go look at this. He did. I see him back there. That's actually so dope. And Sanji, well, it's sad. It's sad that he's leaving him, but it's funny because Sanji has all the girl plushies, right? He just wanted those, and he did leave Zeph, man. That is kind of sad. That does make me kind of sad, actually, because Zeph is a goat, and he is just like very clearly in there. That is kind of funny. I love this color page, man. This is, and I just now noticed this too, because I was pointing it out earlier how like we got two looks at everybody, like a close up and then a far away shot. And I just noticed Robin too. She's like right there, like looking at Chopper, like praying, like please save him. And because I saw her face at the bottom, and now I see her right behind Nami praying to like please save Chopper from in there. So which is kind of funny. Yeah, I love that color page. But yeah, poor Zeph, man. Poor Zeph. Mr. Bushido with the €5. Maffy, I got the kid, Garling, where's the other one? Maffy, huh? Garling, there was two of them. Where's the other one? Yeah, I assume that's going to happen at some point. Like, because she doesn't seem to be talking to Garling, right? Let me go back to that dialogue, because that was kind of interesting. She doesn't seem to be talking to Garling, right? Yeah, because it says, now please get back here before Garling finds out. So I don't think Garling's on the call. So Garling hasn't relayed that information. So yeah, whenever Maffy gets back there and has the one kid, there's going to be some hell to pay for sure for that. And I wonder how that's going to go down. Like, I don't know, is she like going to get demoted? Is she going to get punished somehow for this? I mean, they seem to be pretty ruthless. You know what I mean? The Gods Knights do not seem to be very forgiving, so... also, John Stoops, sorry, I skipped this one. Member for 17 months. Fire chapter, stoked for the VOD later. John Stoops, I appreciate you. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for that. You might be back watching the VOD, but whenever you get to this moment, thank you very much. It was a fire chapter. I really, really enjoyed this one. The Garp panel, the Rayleigh panel, the Shaky stuff, top tier. Mr. Bushido with the €2. Garp scared off 3 Yonko. I cannot talk today. Yeah, that was nuts, man. That was nuts. And let me go back up to that panel real quick. And I know you are, I know you're a big Shaky guy, and I assume Shaky is running from this too, right? Because I don't see him in the panel with those 3, but he was there a panel before that, right? So I assume Shaky is also running, and I know you're a big Shaky guy, so It is 3 Yonko, but you could. I'm not going to say 4 Yonko because Shaky was never one, but I mean he went toe to toe with Garp and Sengoku at Marineford. He's up there for sure. So, but yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, he's not running away in that panel, but he was there literally a panel before that, and then we see him later with the other parts of the gang, not the original part. So I don't know what Oda was doing with Shaky there. It's like he teleported, but either way, yeah, super hype, man, super hype. Iowa Jet fan, I saw you subscribed. Appreciate you. Mr. Bushido again with the €5. My dragon is not Garp Sun theory is officially dead, but Kid Connections to John theory has risen from the dead. Bogard's still not doing anything. Yeah, Bogard, man. Look, like I said midstream, this is his last chance. This is literally his last chance to be relevant. If Bogard does not do anything in God Valley, we're done with the Bogard theories. Like, obviously I'm not going to be able to stop you from making them, but I would never recommend making one if he doesn't do anything here, because it's just, he didn't do anything to help Garp at Hachinosu. They left it up to Kobe. Now we're here at God Valley. I don't see Bogard doing anything. You go back to the cover story, all right? Because I did that cover story video recently. Garp gets cut by Axe Hand Morgan. Bogard didn't do anything. Bogard was standing by the side the entire time. So Bogard, he's not doing anything, So, I don't know. I'm sorry to all the Bogard fans, though. Bogard did have a cool design, so I'm sorry, but it's seeming like that's over. And yeah, your dragon is not Garp's Sun theory. Also seems to be dead, as Dragon literally said "dad" during this chapter. Let me go. Where was that? Oh yeah, right here. Whenever Garp is dropping a nuke on the Yonko. Yep, that seems to be dead. But yeah, the Captain John theories, man, those are gonna take off, man. Like, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of good theories coming out after this week for sure. And like, if he does have kids fruit, I don't know if that means that they're gonna be related, because I don't know if has Oda ever done that, where he's had a child get their parents fruit? I don't think so. Like, there might be an example that I'm just not thinking of, but for the most part, that never really happens. So I doubt that that's going to be it, but still, it does make you think of a connection if he does have the metal fruit for sure. So I don't know, or the magnet fruit, I should say. Summers for Nakama, we can fix him, Bushido says. Bushido, you've thrown a lot of theories my way over the years, and a lot of theories, a lot of good ones, and some iffy ones. But this one is just, I know you're joking, and I'm aware, but that one is just uncalled for after this chapter. There's no fixing Summers. I don't even, if Summers gone on his hands and knees right now and was begging for forgiveness and promising that he'll change, and then someone with a time machine was able to come and tell me like, oh yeah, Summers does change, he doesn't hurt anybody ever again, I still wouldn't let it happen. He's done enough now that he can't leave Elbaf. He can't leave Elbaf alive. That's where I'm at. Vex, the Lurking Legend, member for 27 months. My guy. What a great day for Rayleigh fans. Like the stream. Yeah, I bet you were pumped, Vex. I bet you were pumped. Well, I don't want to. It's not a big spoiler, but I won't show you. But I'll just say I got a Rayleigh card in my hand back here. I'll just show you. Who cares? So there's this Rayleigh card that I've had for a while. I'm gonna see if you see this Rayleigh card. It kind of reminds me, I can't get it into focus here. I don't know how to. There we go, a little bit. There we go. You guys can see it. That like Rayleigh's like a silhouette. That's what it kind of reminds me of. That like he has the sword over his back, obviously, but it reminds me very much of that card, which I think is so crazy. Where am I at now? JR Rider 203 with the $10 super chat. Still a ways to go, but it's crazy that this was spun into Rocks tried to hurt Celestial Dragons, but Roger and Garp saved the day. It's been a Marine, Whitebeard, and Rayleigh to hurt Celestial so far. That is a very cool perspective to think about, actually. Because it's like, yeah, because it was like, a lot of our thoughts going into it is like, yep, Rocks heard about this cleansing, wanted to go rain terror on the Celestial Dragons. Garp and Roger stopped him, which is morally questionable, and we'll see what happens. But like now we're seeing, nope, Rox came to protect his family, Roger came to protect Shaky, which is really Rayleigh's love. Like he knew that coming in, but whatever. And it is like an interesting kind of flip of perspective. Like Dragon knocked out a celestial dragon. Rayleigh's here. I actually just now noticed that Rayleigh literally sent Summers through the wall. Like you can see, it's like a cartoon. Like you can see like his body outline in the wall, which is pretty funny. Yeah, it is a really interesting shift of perspective there. That is really cool to think about. And even from Garp's perspective, like the Celestial Dragon protection thing will probably come into play soon, or at least what led to those stories being told. But even Garp so far, he's here just trying to beat up on pirates, like mainly Roger, but he's also beating up on the Rocks pirates. Like no one's like, obviously we knew Garp was always against pirates, but it's like nothing so far is really the way we thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot, like even the Shaky introduction, nobody thought Shaky was going to be the treasure of Hachinosu. So yeah, overall so far it's been a big kind of flip of expectations in a lot of ways. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to the Celestial Dragons part of it, because like that story probably came from somewhere. I don't know if Garp is gonna make a big moral thing about it on how it's right to protect them. Maybe Garp is just out here fighting pirates the whole time, and then the story just becomes, oh, he protected Celestial Dragons even though he wasn't really trying to do that. He was just fighting the pirates. So I don't know how it's all going to go down, but I'm really, really excited to see kind of how Oda subverts our expectations, I guess, the rest of the way. Because, like I said, that's an interesting perspective to look at it through. Kuya Pixels with the $2 super chat, one of the goats of the channel and Discord. I initially had it a 7, but it's a solid 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I think I agree with 8.5. I agree with Quanidin's ranking from earlier also, which was 8.5, I believe. I think that's pretty good for this chapter. Like I said, it's God Valley, so it's hype. But it's like the lesser hype stuff of God Valley, I would argue, personally. So, yeah. 8.5, I think, is a good ranking. It was I love the way Oda did the Shaky stuff. Like, I hate Summers. I've never disliked a character, maybe ever, as much as I dislike Summers at this point. Like, not from, like, a narrative perspective. Like, I get why he is the way he is. But just from a personal perspective, like, Summers is, like, one of my least favorite types of people. But I just love the way Oda did the chapter so that he got cooked by the end of it. And it also makes me look back at Scopper cutting his arm off and then cutting him in half and everything. And I'm now even more appreciative of it. So yeah, overall, great chapter. K Raven, I think you're next. Yeah, K Raven, with the $5 super chat. Hey Dak, in the color spread, I love the Sunny. However, the shading with glass turns the hair pink like Loki. Hope you have a killer weekend. Let me go look at that. And I hope you have a great weekend too, by the way. I think my weekend will be great because I mentioned it earlier, but I was not feeling good this whole week. But today I felt better. I ran and walked the dogs, so now I'm back up to speed. So I'm hoping to get some content out for you guys. I don't think I'll be doing a video on this chapter, but like I said earlier, I'm hoping to get a Sanji video out about Conqueror's Haki. That's where my head's at right now. But let me go back and look at this claw machine. So what were you saying? I love the Sunny. Okay. Oh, interesting. The shading on the glass turns the hair pink like Loki. That is interesting. I did not notice that. Huh. I don't know. Is that a potential foreshadow? Is that it? I am working on a video that's like half edited already about who the next Straw Hat will be, and I go through all the options. And you know, Loki is one of the picks that I personally want. The logistics are kind of hard to make it work. I don't know. That's kind of cool. That's a really cool catch. This color page just keeps on giving, man. This is just such a good color page. But thank you, K Raven. I hope you have a great weekend as well. Alejandro Solis with the $2. The 4 Yonko versus Garp grows, but Shanks kills Shiki. The 4 Yonko versus Garp grows, but Shanks kills Shiki. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I do think Shiki is going to pull up an Elbaf, and I don't know. I never really thought about that, but I guess why would they fight? I guess is my first kind of thought. Like, what is their issue? I don't know. Huh? Shaky versus Shanks. I mean, Shanks would mop the floor with him, I feel like, is the thing. I know there's a lot of Shaky truthers out there, but I feel like Shanks would just quickly mop the floor with him. Also, I wonder why the chat hadn't moved in a long time, and that's because Firefox froze. Give me a second to try to fix that so I can see what you guys are saying. Because it does work in Streamlabs, but it's not as good in Streamlabs. Well, it does not want to load. We're just going to close that tab. We're going to open up a new one. Also, I saw Parvision just went live. Oh, hell yeah. Well, I'm going to set up my stream so once we're done here, it'll dump you over to Parvision stream. Don't feel the need to run over yet because Parvision takes his time reading the reactions, and I tease him about that all the time. In fact, I think Par puts up a poll that's like, how long will it take me to read the chapter? Like, will I be done in an hour, or will I be done in like under or less than an hour? So I'm gonna set up my stream so it dumps you guys over there once we're done. We're not ending yet. We're gonna get through all the super chats, of course, but I just set it up so it will dump you over there. Cool, got that. And also the chat is working again, so this is great. But yeah, Shanks kills Shaky. I've never thought about that, but the more I think about it, the more interesting that sounds. One Piece Sage, Dax, did you see Garp? Yeah, Garp was badass, going after all the Yonko, which kind of Alejandro Solis was talking about here in this, like, the Garp just scaring all the Yonko like that. This chapter did two things. It reminded us that Garp is a boss, and even the pirates fear him, and it reminded us, and it just finished up the Shaky stuff. Like, maybe there's a little more to say, but most of the Shaky stuff feels figured out. But the other thing Garp wanted us to remember is, or Oda wanted us to remember is, yeah, hey, Garp is a badass, and I think that is, it is a good reminder. Like, I think we all knew, but to get from the pirates' perspective on what they really thought about Garp, like, just think about the way this went down. Garp comes and does a hockey punch and scares 3 future Yonko. Maybe 4 if you're going to count Shaky, which, like, he never became a Yonko, but he's kind of, like, on that level, sort of. Or portrayed as kind of on that level. But then you see Big Mom does this heavenly fire blitz, and Garp's over here like, this isn't even hot enough to cook a prime rib. Like, I just such a cool panel for Garp, man. Such a cool panel. The Fist of Oppression. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because, like, the Rocks Pirates aren't necessarily a band of good people either. Like, are they as bad as the Celestial Dragons? No, I don't think anybody's really as bad as Celestial Dragons or the God's Knight specifically. But it is just like a whole mess of, you know, who's right, who's wrong, what is justice. Like, all these themes we've heard throughout One Piece, it's like, I don't know. Oda's doing a really good job of weaving them all together, in my opinion. Like, this is going to be a really cool situation here over the next few chapters. This is going to be Oda's, like, magnum opus, I feel like, as far as just all the plot lines he set up throughout the story and how he's building on them and delivering. I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. Let's see. Brandon King with the $2 super chat. Need Garp to block Dragon, I think. So he has to punch him like Luffy, I think. Sorry, the emojis are kind of hard to see on Streamlabs, but I think that's what you're saying. Need Garp to block Dragon, so he has to punch him like Luffy. I assume you're talking like the Marineford situation where Garp, like, stood in the way and then Luffy punched him, like Garp kind of let it happen. I would love a moment like that. I don't know exactly how it would work. Like, I don't know if that, because, like, obviously with Ace's execution, it set up a really easy thing where Garp can stand in the way of the execution thing. Here, I guess it would be maybe Garp's blocking the chest. I don't know, punching Garp or defying Garp really in any way, even if it's not a complete parallel to the Luffy thing where he punches him. Anything where he defies Garp, where he's clearly in the right, where Garp is clearly in the wrong, and Garp pretends to stop him and then lets him just get away anyway to have some plausible deniability from his higher-ups or whatever. Like, I would love something like that. And it'd be really cool, too, for just Garp's perspective to be like, for him to just think like, yeah, my son is probably doing the right thing and I'm not, and you know, for him to just kind of think about that I would really love that. I'm a huge fan of that idea. That'd be awesome. Mr. Bushido with the €2. Carrot on cover reaching for Luffy. Confirm she joins. Let me go check. Let me go see where Carrot's at here. Oh, I do see Carrot reaching for Luffy, but I see Carrot getting left behind. That's what I see. I see Luffy he made sure to put Momo in his pocket, but he didn't bother to put Carrot in his pocket. I hate to burst your bubble, Bushido, but it looks like Carrot did not make the cut. Also, Boa didn't make the cut either. So, you know, that's poor Boa, but she also kicked puppies, so you know it might be what she deserves. But look who Luffy made sure to grab though, right? He's got Gaimon, he's got Sabo, of course. Is that Makino? I think that's Makino. We got Shanks, we got Ace, we got Rayleigh, we got Dedan, we got even Garp made the cut. Whitebeard made the cut, which is interesting. Yamato might make the cut. Yamato's fallen down into a potential place to land there, but it looks like Carrot's getting left behind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And actually, Brogy's getting left behind too. Is that Gerd back there? I think behind the words. I think. I don't know. That's what I saw too. Yeah, he's leaving Carrot behind, man. I wouldn't have even noticed it if you didn't say it. Alexander Fiorello with the $2. Garp not being Dragon's dad theory debunked. Yes, that is debunked. At least, you know, could Oda work some crazy magic and be like, oh, or Garp is Dragon's adoptive father, and I don't know, maybe, you know, like could Oda technically find a way? Sure, but at this point it seems dead. And I'm happy with it because I like the idea that they're just as described, you know, Garp is Dragon's dad, Dragon is Luffy's dad. Like I didn't really want shenanigans, so I do think I think that's dead at this point. And like I said, technically possible for Oda to still do something technically, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Chinho Wong, I see you in the chat. It's been a minute. I've seen you in some other chats, like on Randy's, I think, on Sundays, but I'm glad. And maybe you have been in here and I just haven't seen your name, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping in. Survivor, trash remains trash. Yeah. I assume you're talking about the carrot toy. I mean, she might just get thrown right back in the machine, you know. Mr. Bushido, I think this is the last one, I think. Join the Discord. I also think Shanks fought Shaky. Yeah, well, Bushido is right about the first part. Join the Discord if you haven't already. We have a great community over there. We're getting closer to 1,000 members, which is amazing. So I think we're at the 940 something right now. So, and I'm actually about to go make some changes. Not today. I wanted to do it this week, but I was just not feeling up to it. I like barely got on the computer this week. It actually felt kind of great. I'm not gonna lie. Like I wasn't feeling great, but avoiding the computer for like 4 days is like that never happens in this business, you know. So either way, make sure you guys join the Discord because it's already great, but I'm gonna make some changes to make it even better soon. So also something else I just noticed that is really cool from this color page real quick before I answer the Shanks and Shaky thing again is I just noticed that Nami has like Nojiko and Belmare and is that Haradas hanging off to the side? Yep, Haradas. Dude, Haradas, I wouldn't mind a Haradas plush. Haradas is such a cool character, and he's going to matter more soon. Like, because the Mega Punks are going up there. At least that's what I call them. I think Sai got me onto that, but... or the Frankenpunk is what I used to call him. But they're going up to Haradas, so that's going to matter. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, but about you saying Shanks fought Shaky... I mean... Are you saying that, like, Shaky already came back and lost and now he won't have a role? Because, like, he was, you know, he's been doing this 20-year plan or whatever, and he hasn't come back yet. So are you saying, like, he did come back but lost to Shanks real quick, and maybe that's where we're going to find him? Like, we'll see him defeated already, like, healing up somewhere? That could be possible, honestly. Because I do think Shaky's going to return this arc. Absolutely. That's something you and I agree on, Bushido. I know there's not a whole lot of theories we agree on, but that is definitely one that we have co-signed, and the kid agenda. The carrot agenda has not been co-signed though. That one, I don't know if I'll ever sign that one. Even if Shanks did defeat Shaky, it'll be off screen. Yeah. And actually, I saw I can't remember exactly what the meme was, but I saw a lot of memes over the last week about like who's better, off-screen Blackbeard or somebody, and there were some really funny memes. I wish I could remember off the top of my head, but the memes had Blackbeard halfway off of the picture, which I just thought was so funny. But I saw a lot of memes like that over the last week. Check DMs, Dak. All right, let me go. Did I miss something? Okay, I missed a couple of them. I don't see. Let me just go check my Streamlabs. Just make sure it's not me that I definitely did. Looks like I missed a couple, but I just want to see if I skipped them or if it's just they didn't show up. I don't see him in Streamlabs, so I don't know why it keeps doing that. But thank you very much, Vex, for sending those over my way. Thank you very, very much. I don't know why it's doing that. So I got a couple more super chats to get through. Biori, GG with the $5 super chat. GG, how could I possibly miss one of your super chats? I apologize. I saw your donation earlier, but apparently Streamlabs has an anti-GG agenda and an anti-Bushido agenda. But Biori said Lilith Plus. Hey, if I ever find a Lilith plush anywhere, GG, I am gonna buy it for you and get it delivered right to your doorstep. You deserve it for not only being the head of the Lilith agenda, but also all the donations and everything. I've never seen a Lilith plush. I don't know if there ever will be. But I know there are Lilith cards, and we are going to work on that in the next set that we open. Is there Lilith in PRBO2? I don't have enough time to look this up because it's not gonna be easy. But hopefully we get you some Lilith cards at a bare minimum. It is crazy there's a Lilith plush though in this image. Like Sanji has all the girls. That is just so weird. But yeah, if I see one, GG, at a convention or anywhere, I'm gonna hit you up immediately. Bushido, I missed a couple of yours. Ray Attack is red lily, red spider lily. Blackbeard flower is the red lily. Yeah, that I think is actually pretty interesting. I don't know what to really take from it. Like, I mean, I know that they're on God Valley, and that's where he did the attack, and Blackbeard's kind of from here, like his family, the Davies or whatever are from here, like his ancestors are from here, whatever. So I don't know what to take from it, but that is an interesting connection that Oda did that. And also Rayleigh showed up to stop Blackbeard on Amazon Lily, and he's here saving Shaky, who is from Amazon Lily, and this is another type of lily. Like I'm not sure how to weave it all together, but it is interesting regardless. Also, I see Eden's Blue in the chat, my goat. Bro, I appreciate you. Eden's, I might be giving you a phone call later whenever I go and get dinner, because that's usually how it is now. I call Eden's on my way to go get food after a chapter to just talk about some One Piece. Usually I have like some half theories, and he's my guy to talk to. So Eden's, I hope your phone is ready. Even says he'll send them to the underworld. Good point, Gnome. Good point. Right after, or right before that, right? Yeah, I'll send you to the darkest shadows of the underworld. That line really builds onto something that I know a lot of other creators have talked about, which is the abyss powers, the God's Night powers, either their transformations, their regeneration, their teleportation. This weird abyss stuff going on, I think, is underworld related. Which we know Nashjuro at least has a connection to the underworld for sure, because he has ice powers like Brook does, and Brooks are from the chill of the underworld. So I think that's almost like Rayleigh saying, like, I'm gonna send you back. You know what I mean? That's like the vibe I'm getting. Like, this is your last chance kind of thing. Eden, you said you'll be by your phone. Perfect. Because I'm definitely going to probably the taco truck today. Probably not Taco Bell, but. Yeah, that is really interesting, this Rayleigh stuff, man. I don't know. I don't know what to take from it, but I feel like Oda's telling us something. And then Bushido, you also said Garp, was that my son bleeding out back there? Whatever. Where is Roger? I think John was Kid Shank's counterpart, and I think Shanks defeated John. Well, I guess we know John died by his whole crew stabbing him, right? Like his crew gave up on him or something like that. I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure Oda said that in an SBS. History. Okay, we know all that stuff. At some point, John later became a pirate captain himself and managed to build a large amount of treasure. But when he decided to keep the treasure for himself rather than share it with his crew, they mutinied and stabbed him several times in the chest, resulting in his death. However, his treasure was never found and became the subject of one of the great myths, which is obviously what Buggy is looking for. So do you just mean like he lost in a fight, not like died? I guess I don't know. I feel like we have too many Shanks fought this guy theories right now without any like reason, you know, because Shanks hasn't done a whole lot of fighting, to be honest with you. At least that we are like super aware of. And also even in like Fuchsia Village, he didn't want to fight Higuma the Bandit until like, you know, after he was threatening his friends and stuff. So Shanks isn't a very combative guy in that context. So he's not like always looking for a fight. So I don't know if he would have, but I am curious where the John situation's going. And also about John being Kid's Shanks. That's another thing is we don't know when John died, but Kid was born 23 years ago. So John would have had to have died in the last like 16 years, I would say, 17 years, because Kid would need to be at least a few years old to build a connection with John or whatever. And then we'd have to figure out how Moria went and got John's corpse. So I feel like I don't know what's going on with the John situation. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the most likely thing is just that he had the magnet fruit and then he died and then it went over to Kid, and so maybe John and Kid have similar wills and that's why they both got the same fruit. But either way, there's something going on with that arm with Captain John, man. That is a crazy reveal. I guess it's a reveal. Like we weren't even really thinking about that. I don't think anybody had that on their radar, but Bushido, you sent another one, said Shanks fought John, won, and John's crew killed him. I mean, but the SBS says John, John kept all the treasure for himself, and then he got mutinied and stabbed. And so, I mean, like, is it possible? I guess I feel like I'm gonna take Oda's SBS answer kind of seriously and assume that something close to that happened. And I don't think him losing to Shanks would be enough for that. Which, speaking of Kid parallels, if that is what happened, then Kid's about to get stabbed by his own crew. You know what I mean? Like, if losing to Shanks gets your crew to attack you, Kid's cooked. Kid ain't making it out of Elbaf. So I hope that's not what happened. But John losing to Shanks and maybe paralleling Kid in some way in that regard could maybe work, but as far as why he died, I think that's definitely the treasure stuff, but I don't know what that treasure is, which I'm very curious on that. And the fact that Buggy's looking for it makes me think that it might be like poneglyph rubbings or something. Like, honestly, that'd be kind of a cool thing for Oda to do, is like Buggy has a back door to getting all the rubbings really quick. I don't know. I'm gonna scroll back through real quick. Did I don't know if I answered this super chat. Now I'm looking through. K Raven, I think there's a couple here I'm not sure about, but K Raven, you said always much love. Monkey family or tieflings, LMAO. This one I don't think I said. I can't remember. There's a couple here I'm not sure about now, but that one I don't think I did. I am not super familiar with tieflings, but they're from like Baldur's Gate, right? That's how I know of them. I think that's one of the races in Baldur's Gate, if I remember correctly. Oh, they're like a demonic race. Is that what it looks like? They have little horns and stuff like that. A humanoid race. I see a lot of different definitions depending on what I'm looking at, but a D&D thing. Now I'm curious. Are you saying that just because of how like demonic Garp looks? Is that what that was for? Because that was in the middle of the chapter, I think, and it was right after I see some other Garp comments. Maybe that's what you meant. I mean, honestly, though, I do think Luffy's race, like, I mean, we haven't, well, I was about to say we haven't seen tieflings in One Piece, but, like, I mean, there are a couple, I mean, we've seen a lot of races with horns. I feel like Moria is kind of like that a little bit. So I do think there's something special with Luffy's, like, lineage. I don't know. I mean, I definitely think part of it is the Skypian connection for sure. But, I wouldn't be surprised if he has... And actually, if one side of his family is like the Skypians because of the Kalgara and dragon stuff, and that's, like, in the sky, so you think heavenly and whatever, it would kind of make sense for his other side of his family to be, like, hell-related. And so maybe being a tiefling or, whatever race in One Piece Oda makes that's adjacent to that would actually... That would actually kind of work, the more I think about it. You need the magnet fruit for John's compass to work. Do we know that John has a compass, or is that part of the theory? Is that part of your theory on it? Oh, well, I know he had that wristband thing, and in reality it was a map to find John's loot. That's right. So maybe, kind of. That'd be kind of interesting. I mean... Then it would mean like Buggy and Kid are teaming up, which I don't really foresee happening. But at this point, like, I'm not going to rule it out. Buggy's rise to the top is, unstoppable. So I'm not going to rule out that possibility. That's not something I ever really thought could happen. But that would be a cool little connection if that's how he actually finds it. Brandon King, good point to mention, but William Kid's IRL dad is named John. That's interesting. Let me look up William. Oh wow, I looked up William Kid, and the top result was Eustace Kid. Right, probably because it's using cookies or whatever. Because I've looked him up so many times, but I'm trying to find his family. I'm just gonna do Control F for John. Not that I doubt you, but I'm just want to see if there's anything else. Oh my God! Wait! I don't know. I haven't read the whole wiki article, so I don't know what to make of this. But there's a guy that's related to William Kidd, like not blood related. I don't think. But there was a guy named Sir John Summers. Is this supposed to be connected to Saint Summers? Huh. Sir John Summers. 4/5 of the cost of the 1696 venture was paid by noble lords who were among the most... Okay, so Sir John Summers paid for part of William Kidd's expeditions. I don't know. That's too much for me to research on stream, but that is interesting, to say the least. All right, I want to say I've read all the super chats now. If I've missed any, someone yell at me now, or forever hold your peace. Or actually, you don't have to forever hold it, just tell me later and I'll figure it out. But I think I read all of them. Pretty sure. Well, thank you guys for all the donations, by the way. I want to give you a major shout out. Actually, Alexander, I just saw you send another one. I will answer that one in just a second because that's a big question. I just want to say real quick, thank you guys for all the donations, by the way. And we're not ending the stream just yet, but I just want to give you guys a couple announcements. Like I said, Sanji video coming soon. If anybody won in the TCG giveaway last weekend, was it a week ago now? I can't remember. I'll be sending those out soon. And and also on Redacted, this is the main thing. So Redacted this week, I'm going to do a slightly different style Redacted video. I've been thinking about doing it this way for a while because it's just sometimes hard to get people in for the collab streams, basically, like the podcast style I normally do. Not that those are going to stop, but for chapter reactions, they're sometimes hard. So I'm going to try this week and do a different style where it's basically just going to be me, but I'm going to kind of prepare like the equivalent of like a PowerPoint presentation. That's like the only way I know how to describe it because I've done a million of those in college and stuff. So that's just what I'm used to. But I mean, it'll be a video format. But I'm just going to go through like my own thoughts on it. And then again, the podcast will still happen, definitely during break weeks and for other topics. It's just like for chapters, sometimes it's hard to like make the timing work to, because like this didn't come out till Friday. It's already 4:07 on a Friday afternoon. If I want to get the video up with like enough time to actually get some views, it's got to get up like early Sunday, which means I have to find somebody tomorrow. And if they're not free till late, then I'm, you know, it's a lot more confusing. So I'm going to do it myself and see how that goes. I think you guys will like the format. But the podcast styles are still sticking around. And actually, part of my inspiration for wanting to do this is I also want to do more collab streams on the channel, on this main channel. And it's like, because I bring people on to Redacted all the time, it makes it a little harder to find time to stream or time for them to come join me for a stream. So if instead I do a little bit more solo content on Redacted and then bring them over here for more discussions, it's just a little bit easier. So yeah, not massive changes, but just FYI, you're going to do things a little bit differently now. All with the goal of getting people for more collabs on here, because I feel like I really enjoy doing the podcast style thing, so those will stay, but I feel like there's also a special magic with like the collab live stream. Like I've had some great theories come out of collab streams, especially with like people like Randy. Remember he had the reassemble Joy Boy theory that came out of one of our streams. So like I want to do more of those. So yeah, more streams are coming with other creators, more collabs. But then what was the other super chat real quick? Vex, you said you have read them all. Appreciate you. Except for this one. What will Usopp do for this to be his arc? Alexander says. Well, that's a really big question at this point, right? Because Usopp has done next to nothing this arc, it feels like. Like, he's been an afterthought. If anything, he's been kind of clowned on this arc. Like, you go back to the very beginning when we were in Legoland and Usopp got cooked by Iscat, and like they even said like, Usopp, I thought you could do this, and he's over there just like, you know, half beaten to death and whatever. So like Usopp has not looked good so far. So I think that's a really big question. And you know, I did a video on this, which like I don't know if I'll update it soon, but I already have a lot of updated kind of thoughts on it, where I talked about like Killingham's nightmares could tie into it. And I even mentioned in that video like, you know, well, I guess I'll start from the beginning. You know, the nightmares are probably based off the kid's fears, and overcoming your fear is kind of what bravery is, right? That's like courage. And so it would kind of make sense that if Usopp is going to become a brave warrior of the sea, it's going to have something to do with overcoming fears and becoming a hero to these kids and that kind of thing. But something I brought up in that video was I don't think the exact version of the nightmares we see right now are going to be the answer. I think there's going to be something crazier that happens. And then we had Domi Reversi happen. And then we literally had confirmation from Killingham that, I forget how he worded it, but he can bring those nightmares back. Like, they don't die just because they got defeated once. Like, there's like some more magic to beating them, apparently. So whether it's fixing the Domi Reversi, whether it's fixing the nightmare thing, like getting the kids to be brave so they can fight back, and maybe that matters. Maybe it's something with the Abyss stuff. I'm not exactly sure, but somewhere in the midst of all this like dark evil magic, I guess we can lightly say, because yes, Killingham stuff is from a devil fruit power, but it's still like, it feels like dark magic, you know what I mean? Somewhere in the midst of all this dark magic, Usopp is going to make a stand to like, I don't know how it's going to happen, right? I genuinely am kind of at a loss here. Going into the kids' dreams and getting them to like be brave and fight back, to me is like the easiest answer, but I also don't even know if that's enough. So I don't know. He's going to have a big play in saving Elbaf from what's happening. I'll say that much. I don't know if he's going to get through to Dorian Brogy. Maybe he's the one who gets credited with stopping the Domi Reversi and fixing this evil giant stuff going on. I'm not really sure, but somewhere in the midst of this dark magic, Usopp's going to start fixing things. That's how I feel. And again, I don't know how. Maybe it does deserve an updated video, honestly, at this point. Maybe I should do another one, because that one, I mean, it did all right. That one didn't do very well compared to a lot of other videos. Not that it's that big of a deal, but maybe it is worth doing a redo at some point. Not now, because we're in the midst of the God Valley flashback. I'll wait till Usopp becomes relevant again to bring it up, because it might be a minute. You know, he hasn't done anything yet, so I might wait till Usopp gets a little shine. But yeah, somewhere in the midst of that dark magic, Usopp's gonna do something. bring OPU to do what we do, dude. I mean, has OPU been active lately? Like I haven't gotten the notifications, but I know you guys have been doing it more sporadic. But I wasn't even sure if OPU was still doing what they do. Tiny Angry Gnome, you said, how did Garp get the scar? That's a good question. And also Rayleigh as well, because Rayleigh has that scar already. Huh? Because you would think this is like the prime place to get it, right? I don't know. Probably in one of his, for Garp, probably in one of his fights with Roger. Maybe. Nickel Vento, you said Usopp can't get Domi reversied because of his negative personality. That would be cool. That'd be a really cool way to kind of do it. Like what if everybody gets Domi reversied on the island? Like, I don't know about the Straw Hats. Like, can Luffy get Domi reversied? I'm not, with Gear 5 and stuff, I'm not sure. But I would really, well, depends how Oda does it. But if he does it right, I think I would kind of like it if Usopp is the last one and he can't get Domi reversied, and it freaks out the government so much because they're like, wait, we've never found somebody who is immune to it. And then he somehow is able to fix it. Like, it depends on how Oda does that, right? Like if it's the same thing as Perona, like, oh, he's so negative and now he's the key to saving everyone from the government, then it's like, okay, that's a little bit much. Like, it worked for Perona. I don't know if I want it to be as simple as, hey, I'm so negative that none of the government's powers work and now I'm like the antidote for all this stuff. Like, you'd have to do it in a certain way. You'd have to build it up in a certain way, cascade it down in a certain way. But I like just the situation of him being the last person, and then the Domi Reversi fails, and they freak out, and then because of that, it provides some opportunity for Usopp. That I think could work. But like I said, it just depends. It depends. Usopp gets Domi reversied into Sogeking. Yeah, so I brought this up in my video on the Usopp thing, because that was before Domi Reversi. So Domi Reversing could also work, and I think that could have its own fun angles to it. But the idea that I brought up is Usopp's nightmare. Like, if he gets Killinghammed and his nightmare comes to life, his nightmare would be Sogeking. And then so imagine Usopp has to fight against Sogeking. He has to beat the Sniper King. That, I think, would be really compelling. Now, how does that go on to him becoming Brave Warrior of the Sea? I'm not even sure, but I just love the idea that Usopp would beat the best, the Sniper King, so then he becomes the Sniper King, and it just gives him that confidence. Because, like, if you look at him whenever he puts the Sogeking mask on, he becomes really confident, believes in himself, and I think beating Sogeking might be a way to kind of permanently make him feel that way. Because if putting the mask on does it now, we know he has it in him. He just has to, like, play a role is kind of what he's doing. He's, like, acting as somebody else. But I think beating Sogeking and kind of coming face to face with, like, okay, Usopp, you beat the Sniper King. That might be a play for him to, start actually being brave in some context. So, I don't know. I'm excited for Usopp, though. Like I said, Oda has not been very kind to him this arc, but I am so pumped to see what he does. He's gonna... There's no way Oda's not gonna cook with it, whatever he does end up doing. Like, Oda's had this planned out for so long, so... Tiny Angry Gnome, you said, is Blackbeard's mom Marshall Eris? It seems that way. It seems that's the case, because we saw rocks at the very beginning. Which this is like the least amount of rocks we've seen in months, where we just got one panel of him pretty much. Yeah, he said, Eris, teach, where are you? So it seems that Marshall Eris, it could be Marshall D. Eris also, but yeah, Marshall Eris probably. Dak, we'll have words to exchange later. All right, Edens, I'll call you here pretty shortly, because I am about to end the stream. Also, shout out to the, I don't know how to say your name, I apologize, but I just saw you subscribe. The Nawa Bacchanal, I'm probably butchering it, but thank you very much for subscribing. I love whenever I'm streaming on Twitch, because I still get the YouTube subscribe notifications even when I'm live only on Twitch. And I love shouting out the subscribers mid-Twitch stream, knowing full well none of the YouTube people are watching, but hey, you know, you subscribe, you get a shout out. You get me one closer to 100K. And I think I'm going to put a little announcement about 100K in the midst of one of the videos coming up, and I'll explain what the giveaways are. Because I'm kind of doing it in a confusing way, but I like doing it that way because I feel like, obviously, I have a lot of you guys here on the YouTube community that I want to give back to. I have guys or people on the Discord community that I want to give back to. There's, you know, people on the members who have been, paying every month or whatever to support me. I definitely want to give something back to them. So I'm trying to give something back to every group of people who've supported me in different ways. So little confusing, but I think it'll work out. So be on the lookout for that in a future video. But yeah, I think we're about to wrap up the stream, guys. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. This was a great chapter. I really, really enjoyed this one. And we don't have a break. So that means we have another chapter coming next week. So be on the lookout for that stream. It'll be probably a week from today, maybe Thursday. I don't know. But whenever TCB gets it done. But yeah, thank you guys again. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you haven't already. That's the place to, you know, if you got more theories to share, definitely send them in there. That's the place to do it. Oh, Naj, you said the next one's going to be even better, probably. I agree. The next one's going to have, I don't know, like I said, we got done with the Shaky stuff, right? So now we're moving on to the bigger stuff we've all been waiting for, which, at least I assume, which is going to be exciting. And last thing, if you guys stay here, you will get forwarded right over to Parvision stream. He's live. I assume he's still live. I haven't really looked, but I assume. So you guys will get sent over there. If his stream is done, then you won't get sent anywhere. I don't know, but yeah, it should send you over there. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys.